Have you ever stopped to think whether that leftover meal you just reheated might be doing more harm than good? In today's fast-paced world, most of us rely on cooking in bulk and reheating throughout the week. It feels efficient, budget-friendly, and convenient. But here's the hidden truth. Food scientists and nutrition experts are finding that certain healthy, everyday foods undergo subtle, but significant chemical changes when reheated. These transformations don't just affect flavor or texture. Over time, they can create compounds that may quietly damage your health, especially as you get older. This topic becomes even more critical after the age of 50 or 60. Why? Because aging naturally reduces the body's detoxification capacity. Research in the journals of gerontology shows that the liver's ability to neutralize harmful compounds and the kidney's efficiency in excreting waste declines steadily with age. That means toxins that a younger body could easily handle may linger longer in the system of an older adult, contributing to chronic inflammation, oxidative stress, and disease progression. Let's start with one of the most surprising culprits: spinach. Spinach is one of the most nutrient-dense vegetables you can eat. It contains high levels of vitamin K, essential for blood clotting and bone health, vitamin A and C, potent antioxidants, folate, important for DNA repair, and iron. In fact, the USDA National Nutrient Database ranks spinach among the top vegetables for total nutrient density. But here's the catch: spinach is naturally rich in nitrates. According to a 2017 review in Nutrients, dietary nitrates in their natural state support vascular health by being converted into nitric oxide, which relaxes blood vessels, improves circulation, and can lower blood pressure. That's why athletes sometimes consume nitrate-rich beetroot or spinach before workouts to enhance performance. The problem starts once spinach is cooked, cooled, and then reheated. Studies published in Food Chemistry and the International Journal of Food Science show that stored, reheated spinach undergoes a chemical shift. Nitrates convert into nitrites, which in excess can interfere with hemoglobin's ability to transport oxygen. This can lead to a condition called methemoglobinemia. Though rare, it's a documented risk, especially in infants. With repeated reheating, nitrites can form nitrosamines, compounds classified by the International Agency for Research on Cancer, IARC, as probable human carcinogens. Animal studies have shown nitrosamines to cause gastric and liver cancers, and epidemiological studies link them to an increased risk of gastrointestinal malignancies in humans. Beyond cancer, nitrosamines also have neurotoxic effects. Research published in Journal of Alzheimer's Disease suggests that chronic nitrosamine exposure can induce insulin resistance in the brain, oxidative stress, and neuronal damage, factors strongly associated with cognitive decline, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's disease. Now picture this common routine. You prepare a spinach quiche or stew on Sunday and keep reheating it for several days. Each reheating cycle reduces antioxidant levels while boosting nitrosamine formation. It's not that one meal will harm you, but over decades, these repeated exposures can quietly contribute to chronic disease risk, especially in older adults, where resilience to oxidative damage is already reduced. So what's the safe way forward? Eat spinach fresh whenever possible, salads, smoothies, or lightly sautéed portions eaten the same day. Refrigerate within 2 hours. This slows down nitrate to nitrite conversion, as shown in food control studies. Consume within 24 to 48 hours. Nutritional integrity and safety are highest in this window. Reheat once only. Portion out meals before storing so you don't repeatedly reheat the same batch. Use gentle reheating on the stovetop rather than high-power microwaving, which accelerates nitrate breakdown. That way, you preserve the vascular and antioxidant benefits of spinach while minimizing the risks of nitrosamine exposure. Food number 2, potatoes, a hidden risk in reheating. Potatoes are one of the most beloved foods on the planet. Affordable, filling, and incredibly versatile, they appear in countless dishes. From mashed potatoes at family dinners to crispy roasted wedges, hearty baked potatoes, and creamy potato salads. But while they seem harmless, how we handle potatoes after cooking can quietly turn them into a health risk. When potatoes are freshly cooked, their starches break down into simple, easily digestible forms. But as they cool, especially if they are left sitting out at room temperature, these starches reorganize through a process known as retrogradation. This creates resistant starch, which is harder to digest but can actually be beneficial in small amounts. It feeds gut-friendly bacteria and helps regulate blood sugar. The real danger begins when cooked potatoes are stored or reheated incorrectly. Potatoes, especially those wrapped in foil and allowed to cool slowly, create the perfect low-oxygen environment for Clostridium botulinum, the bacterium responsible for botulism. This organism thrives in starchy, oxygen-poor conditions and can release neurotoxins that are completely invisible, odorless, and tasteless. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention (CDC), botulinum toxin is among the most potent natural toxins known. Even in very small amounts, it can cause nausea, vomiting, paralysis, and in severe cases, life-threatening respiratory failure. Older adults face higher risks because the immune system naturally weakens with age, making it harder to fight off foodborne pathogens. On top of that, emerging research on the gut-brain axis, the two-way communication between the digestive system and the nervous system, suggests that chronic exposure to bacterial toxins and inflammation in the gut may worsen risks for neurodegenerative conditions like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. A common scenario looks like this. You bake several potatoes for dinner, wrap the extras in foil, and put them in the fridge. A few days later, you reheat one in the microwave. It looks fine, smells fine, and tastes fine, but hidden inside could be harmful bacterial toxins. Repeated low-level exposures like this may not cause immediate illness, but over time, they can contribute to systemic inflammation, which is already a key driver of age-related disease. To enjoy potatoes safely, cook only what you'll eat fresh whenever possible. If storing leftovers, cool them quickly, within 2 hours, and place them in airtight containers instead of foil. When reheating, use methods that ensure even heating, such as an oven or stovetop, instead of quick microwaving. Avoid reheating the same potatoes multiple times, and discard any that have been stored for more than a few days. Food number 3, eggs. When reheating turns healthy protein risky. Eggs are one of the most nutrient-dense foods available. They're affordable, widely accessible, and packed with high-quality protein, essential amino acids, and micronutrients like choline, which supports brain health and memory. For decades, eggs have been a breakfast staple and a quick protein source for millions of households. But here's the catch. While eggs are healthy when freshly cooked, reheating them, especially with high heat, can reduce their nutritional value and introduce harmful compounds. When eggs are first cooked, their proteins undergo denaturation, a process where the tightly folded protein structures unravel and become easier for the body to digest. This is why raw eggs are poorly digested, but cooked eggs are highly bioavailable. However, when already cooked eggs are reheated, those proteins undergo additional structural changes, making them tougher, rubbery, and harder to digest. Another, more serious issue is cholesterol oxidation. The yolk in eggs is rich in cholesterol, which is stable at moderate cooking temperatures, but becomes unstable when repeatedly exposed to high heat. During reheating, particularly in a microwave, cholesterol can oxidize into compounds known as oxysterols, oxals. Research published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry and Atherosclerosis has linked oxysterols to inflammation, arterial damage, and increased cardiovascular risk. Chronic inflammation triggered by oxysterols doesn't just harm the heart. Studies in the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease also suggest that oxidized cholesterol may impair memory, accelerate cognitive decline, and increase vulnerability to conditions like dementia. This is especially concerning for older adults, whose cardiovascular systems are already more sensitive to oxidative stress. Combined with age-related decreases in antioxidant defenses, the body becomes less efficient at neutralizing these harmful compounds. Consider this everyday example. You hard-boil a dozen eggs on Sunday to meal prep for the week. On Wednesday, you microwave one to warm it before eating. While it seems harmless, that egg has now lost some of its digestibility, and its cholesterol may have oxidized, subtly introducing inflammatory compounds into your system. To minimize these risks, eat eggs fresh whenever possible. If you meal prep eggs, enjoy them cold in salads, sandwiches, or as snacks instead of reheating. If reheating is necessary, use low, gentle heat on the stovetop rather than microwaving. Avoid reheating eggs multiple times. Food number 4. Chicken. When reheating turns lean protein into an inflammatory trigger. Chicken is one of the most widely consumed proteins across the globe. It's lean, relatively inexpensive, and delivers high-quality protein with far less saturated fat than red meat. For this reason, chicken has become a staple in fitness, weight management, and heart-healthy diets. Many people cook chicken in bulk, storing it in the refrigerator or freezer for quick meals during the week. But here's the hidden problem. Reheating chicken, especially in the microwave, doesn't just affect taste and texture. It can also alter its molecular structure in ways that stress the digestive system and fuel inflammation. When chicken is first cooked, its proteins denature, meaning they unravel and reform into a structure your body can digest more efficiently. This is a natural and beneficial process. However, when chicken is reheated, particularly at high or uneven temperatures, those proteins undergo further chemical changes, becoming tougher, less soluble, and less bioavailable. In other words, your body has to work harder to extract nutrients, which can result in bloating, discomfort, or sluggishness. This effect becomes more noticeable with age. As we grow older, our stomach naturally produces less acid and fewer digestive enzymes. That means proteins that have been structurally altered by multiple heating cycles become even harder to break down, leaving behind undigested fragments that may cause gastrointestinal upset. Beyond digestion, there's another, more concerning issue: inflammation. Reheating animal proteins like chicken can accelerate the formation of advanced glycation end products, AGEs. Harmful compounds formed when proteins and fats are repeatedly exposed to high heat. According to studies published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism and Diabetes Care, AGEs are strongly linked to chronic inflammation, oxidative stress, and tissue damage. Chronic, low-grade inflammation is often described as a silent fire in the body. It may not cause immediate pain but gradually increases risks for cardiovascular disease, insulin resistance, arthritis, and even neurodegenerative conditions like Alzheimer's disease. For older adults already living with inflammation-related issues such as high blood pressure, arthritis, or memory decline, the regular consumption of reheated chicken can compound these challenges. To minimize these risks, cook smaller batches of chicken so leftovers aren't stored for long periods. If you must reheat, do so gently, using low-temperature methods like stovetop warming or oven reheating, rather than microwaving. Consider eating leftover chicken in cold preparations, such as chopped into salads, grain bowls, or wraps. This eliminates the second heating cycle altogether. Food number 5, mushrooms. From nutrient powerhouse to oxidative stress risk. Mushrooms are unlike any other food group, neither plant nor animal. These fascinating fungi have earned recognition as nutritional powerhouses. They are rich in antioxidants, B vitamins, fiber, and beta-glucans, compounds that enhance immune defenses and may even help protect against cancer. Their umami-rich flavor makes them a favorite in plant-forward cooking, soups, stir-fries, and pasta dishes. However, mushrooms are uniquely sensitive to storage and reheating. Their nutritional value and digestibility can decline quickly if not handled with care. Unlike most vegetables, mushrooms contain a delicate mix of proteins, enzymes, and polyunsaturated fats. When freshly cooked, these compounds break down in a balanced way, releasing flavor and making nutrients more bioavailable. But once cooled and reheated, especially multiple times, mushrooms undergo structural degradation. The proteins and enzymes can transform into less digestible forms, which may cause bloating, gas, or a heavy feeling in the stomach. This is particularly challenging for older adults, since aging naturally slows down gut motility and enzyme production, making digestion less efficient. Another concern is oxidative stress. Mushrooms stored improperly, such as in plastic containers that trap moisture, can begin to oxidize. When reheated unevenly, their fats and proteins may form oxidized compounds that damage cells and tissues. Research in food chemistry and oxidative medicine and cellular longevity shows that oxidized food components contribute to cellular aging, immune suppression, cardiovascular disease, and cognitive decline. These changes aren't just invisible, they're noticeable in texture and taste. Reheated mushrooms often turn rubbery, watery, or overly soft. This textural decline signals a breakdown of their natural structure, which often goes hand in hand with reduced nutritional quality and increased risk of digestive or systemic stress. to preserve both safety and nutrition. Store cooked mushrooms in airtight glass containers in the refrigerator to prevent moisture buildup and oxidation. If reheating, use gentle low-heat methods rather than high-heat microwaving. Even better, repurpose leftover mushrooms into cold dishes. Toss them into salads with olive oil, lemon, and herbs, or mix them into chilled grain bowls. As we wrap up this exploration of reheated foods and their hidden risks, it's important to highlight one crucial truth. The effects are not immediate, but cumulative. Eating reheated rice, potatoes, chicken, or leafy greens once in a while is unlikely to cause sudden harm. The real concern lies in repeated exposure. Each time we reheat improperly stored foods, chemical and structural changes can occur, sometimes creating advanced glycation end products, ages, oxidized fats, or even nitrosamines. Over time, these compounds can fuel chronic inflammation, oxidative stress, and digestive strain, all of which are linked to long-term conditions like cardiovascular disease, insulin resistance, and gastrointestinal discomfort. The key takeaway is this: how we prepare and handle food is just as important as the foods we choose. Simple habits, like cooling rice quickly before refrigerating, reheating foods only once, or avoiding reheating spinach and beets that are high in nitrates, can greatly reduce risk without requiring us to give up these nutritious staples. This awareness becomes especially vital as we age. Older adults often have slower metabolism, reduced antioxidant defenses, and greater sensitivity to dietary stressors, meaning small lapses in food handling may have a bigger impact on overall well-being. The goal isn't to create fear or ban these foods from your diet, but to empower you with knowledge. Small, mindful adjustments in your kitchen can protect your health, improve digestion, and even support better energy and mental clarity. So the next time you reach for leftovers, remember, it's not just what you eat, but how you prepare and reheat it that shapes your long-term vitality. If this information helped open your eyes, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with friends or family who may also benefit. Your support helps us spread evidence-based health insights to more people. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which of these reheating mistakes surprised you the most? Do you have a kitchen habit you're ready to change after today's video? Share your experience in the comments. Your story might inspire someone else to make a positive change. And don't forget to subscribe for more science-backed wisdom on nutrition, wellness, and healthy aging. Together, we can make small changes that lead to lasting health. Thank you for watching. Stay healthy, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next video.